Thank you. Let's get to our other headlines here tonight. Defense attorneys are now working to convince a jury that suspected Delphi killer Richard Allen should walk out of prison as a free man. Today, they gave jurors details of what Allen's life has been like behind bars. Witness testimony also zeroed in on the fact that none of them heard or saw anything actually happen to Abby and Libby on the Mo-9 High Bridge in February of 2017. Fox 59's Russ McQuaid and Max Lewis are outside the Carroll County Courthouse with the very latest.
Day 13 is wrapped up here in the Delphi double murder trial of Richard Allen. The defense has taken center stage, trying to prove their client was mentally ill. Last summer, a year ago, in 2023, when he confessed to his wife from behind prison walls that he killed Abby Williams and Libby German near the Mo-9 High Bridge in 2017. A prison psychiatrist testified that she did believe he suffered from mental illness, but even someone who is faking mental illness can be mentally ill, but also at the same time slip a few truths into their conversation. After the lunch hour, then we moved on to searchers and we moved on to witnesses, which the defense is hoping to prove that because these witnesses didn't see Richard Allen on the bridge that day, that because the searchers did not see the bodies of Abby and Libby overnight in the dark in the woods, that maybe those girls were driven away. Max Lewis was in there in the late afternoon then when a couple of key witnesses came forward who were very instrumental in the early stages of this investigation.
Yeah, one of them being Steve Mullen, who we have seen take the stand numerous times so far in this case.
Well, he was the police chief in Delphi at the time of the murder.
That's right, and this is the first time, though, he's taken the stand when the defense has been presenting their case. So they were able to pepper him with quite a few questions. Ones that really stuck out to me, and they asked him about him, interviews of witnesses very shortly after the time the girls were murdered. All of those were recorded in some way, videotaped. Well, we learned today what we had known and confirmed, that several of those interviews, almost all of them, gone from the time this investigation started, February 14th, 2017, all the way up until March, late March of 2017. All interviews conducted during that time, gone. Then, even more went missing, and a second round of interviews went missing between the summer of 2017. They were able to recover some of them, only the video, not the audio.
And then, of course, Sheriff Tobe Lesenby was leading the investigation here in 2017, and some of his past comments, which dovetail the prosecutor's comments from early on in this investigation, those were brought out before jurors.
Yeah, specifically the belief that more than one person had to have committed the murders of Abby and Libby just because of the complexity of the crime scene. He was asked initially on the stand how many people he believes committed the crimes. He sort of said, "I don't remember." The defense gave him his deposition that he gave in August of 2023, just a little over a year ago, when they asked him that, and in that deposition he said he believes 2 or more people had to have committed the murders. That obviously does not jive with the prosecution's theory at this point.
Ironically, the prosecutor, Nicholas McLeland, said at the time of the original probable cause that was published in October of 2022, November of 2022, after the arrest of Richard Allen, he said, "I can't release more information, Your Honor, because I think there are more suspects out there." All of a sudden, 2 years later, that whole theory from the state that there are more suspects out there disappeared.
Right.
You sat in there, you watched that jury while Steve Mullen was up there testifying that, yes, some of our interviews have simply disappeared into thin air. From body language, from any response, could you see any reaction from some of those jurors?
Yeah, there were a couple jurors in the front that were shaking their head just as they were taking notes, sort of shaking their head when Mr. Mullen, who is quite confrontational on the stand with the defense attorneys, when he was saying that he lost all these interviews and they're just gone. They were shaking their heads and basically sort of seemed to possibly buy the theory that the defense is putting forward, that there was sloppy police work done in this. However, there are some who really don't take notes, really don't take account of what the defense is saying. So it seems like there may be some split on the jury at this point.
Okay, this jury here's day 14 of testimony tomorrow morning, and we're understanding that Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter will be on the stand. For Max Lewis, I'm Russ McQuaid in Delphi.